What is going on, guys? This is Michael Williams from Cartoon Universe, and today we have leaks for the upcoming Steven Universe episode Room for Ruby that is going to be airing on this Friday, March 10th. This is pretty traditional at this point. We have some screenshots and a 2-minute preview, so we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Haley is not here to join me, unfortunately, but we're just going to get right into it. If you don't want to be spoiled, of course, as always, turn away now. So the clip starts off with Steven and Garnet staring at the night sky and making wishes on shooting stars. And Steven tells Garnet she should make a wish. And he asks what she wished for. And she says, I wished for another shooting star so you could have a wish. And I was like, oh, that's cute. It was a really funny exchange that they had. And then, lo and behold, a new shooting star shows up and it's red. And it's screaming. And it crash lands onto the beach. And it is none other than Navy, which is one of the nicer rubies. So we're finally getting our children, or at least one of our children, back here on Earth. But this raises a lot of questions that I don't quite understand. Is Beach City just like a hotspot for aliens? Is that why the Crystal Gems kind of had their base there? Is that I don't, it's really interesting because everything seems to be happening in Beach City. So I don't know if that's just like where Homeworld always ends up tracking Earth for some reason. I'm not sure. That's yet to be answered. There may be some type of correlation there. I'm not sure how she started flying into the atmosphere so fast. I don't know how that works exactly. I guess she started floating towards Earth and the gravity pulled her in, as to why she conveniently landed right in front of Steven in the Crystal Gems house. I'm not really sure. Maybe there is an answer for that, but it seems a little convenient. And basically Steven and Garnet go to check up on Navy, and Garnet doesn't understand why he's Ruby's named Navy, and Steven explains that he named everyone based off the place of the gems, and obviously Navy has her gem on her navel. And Garnet was like, oh, I get it now, which is very surprising. Garnet's usually pretty perceptive, but I guess she doesn't always get whimsy, especially Steven's whimsy. So yeah, they go to check on her, and it looks like Navy's about to lunge and attack them. So Steven blocks it with the bubble, but she explains it like, oh, please don't maybe go back to Homeworld. All the rubies are mean to me. I just want to stay here on Earth. And this does make sense. Navy was always one of the nicer gems. She always seemed very innocent and kind. So it does make sense for Navy to be wanting to trade over a new leaf, but I don't know. There's some pictures later that's definitely questionable about that. But yeah, so she basically explains like, oh, I thought everything you guys did was clever and it was funny and we were fighting, so it's whatever. You had to do what you had to do. And Garnet was like, oh, I don't know about this. She tried to stab you in space, and Steven was like, oh no, that was Eyeball. This is Navy. So I have problems, and I don't know if these problems are going to be answered or fixed in any way. I hope they are. We're gonna it kind of correlates to some later screenshots, but I do not understand why the Crystal Gems have not gone out to space for these gems yet. Because Garnet, here's the thing. They know that the rubies are out in space. They know Eyeball knows that Steven has the gem of Rose Quartz. They know that Homeworld is definitely coming to Earth for more humans for the zoo. Okay, and I've explained this so many times. Why are they not getting the rubies? Why is this not a priority? It doesn't make sense. And I swear, if Homeworld ends up coming and they end up running into Eyeball and or the other rubies and they expose the Crystal Gems, and that's what leads to this big invasion and this big attack because the Crystal Gems were sloppy and left the rubies floating out in space. Even though they knew they were in space, they said they were going to get them, and they know Homeworld's coming. I'm going to have a very serious problem with that plot movement, because that makes no sense. Hopefully it doesn't go down like that. It might not. Still, time will tell. But the fact that they didn't even end up going to space to find Navy in the first place, Navy just kind of crash landed here conveniently, bothers me. It bothers me that they're not even trying. They're not even mentioning that they need to go to space to get these rubies. It doesn't make any sense for them not to go to space and get them. Not even because I want to see them do it, but just because from a writing standpoint it doesn't make sense. So I pray that this ends up getting resolved somehow. But I'm gonna kind of go over the screenshots real quick here. The first screenshot we have is at the barn, actually in the little farm area, and you have Steven, Pumpkin, Peridot, and Lapis, and they're floating Navy, and she looks kind of like surprised almost. So I think what may have happened is Navy ended up coming to the barn, or they're probably going to have Navy stay at the barn most likely, since there's probably no room in the temple. And it looks like what's happening is Steven and Peridot are totally on board. Lapis probably bubbled her, thinking she was attacking, thinking she was, trying to infiltrate or something. And, Steven kind of explains the situation, and Peridot looks excited about the situation somehow, like, yay, another gem, another roommate or whatever. And Lapis is still being her jerky Lapis self and not very pleased. She's probably very suspicious of the rubies, but it's whatever. It looks like Navy's probably going to stick around. Second screenshot is just from the clip of Steven and Garnet talking when Navy lands on the beach. And then the other one is kind of reiterating what I said before. Peridot looks pretty excited about a new roommate, and Lapis is like, why is this happening? This is dumb. This is stupid. And then in the other shot, it kind of looks like a similar situation. They're in front of the barn, and they're in front of a chalkboard. So on the chalkboard, it has like a gem on the forehead, and there's like question marks going on. So I'm not sure what this means. They're teaching Navy something, it looks like. Again, Lapis looks relatively uninterested. Peridot looks pleased, and Steven and Navy look pleased. I don't know what's happening here. There's a little tent on the side, so I guess that's probably where Navy ends up staying. As far as what's on the chalkboard, I'm not really sure. Maybe she's explaining what it means to be a crystal gem or something like that. I'm not really sure. That's actually a good question. Maybe that's supposed to represent Peridot. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll find out soon enough. And then the next one is, again, Peridot excited about something, and Lapis not so excited about something. So Lapis, just relax, man. And then we have another one where Lapis is holding Pumpkin, looking kind of surprised at something, and you can see like the top of Navy's head. That looks kind of inappropriate, but I don't know what's going on there either. It looks like Navy is trying to maybe beg for Lapis to be nice, which would be kind of sad to see again, given that Lapis kind of went through this with Peridot already. I feel like she should kind of be a little more warm towards people at this point, but she's really not. Hopefully that ends up changing eventually. I don't know what's up with Lapis, what her problem is. But then we have Steven, Peridot, and Pumpkin Dog looking very surprised at something, which Pumpkin Dog is just smiling. He's chilling. He don't care. But Steven and Peridot look kind of surprised at something. Maybe this relates to the next picture, which is Navy looking really sad and worried. This could be... Actually, I'm just going to go to the next picture because I think this might all correlate together. The next picture is very interesting. We see Steven, Lapis, and Peridot and Pumpkin kind of holding on to the ruby ship and trying... They're very surprised, and I think what's happening here, this could be two things. Navy looks like... What's most likely happening is Navy is taking control of the ship. But whether this was intentional from the beginning, I'm not entirely sure, because Navy does seem innocent and nice. So I think it's very well possible that she may just be having second thoughts. Maybe she misses her Ruby sisters. Maybe she feels like she needs to get them out of space. Who knows? I'm not sure. There could be a lot of correlating factors. Maybe she's just scared of Homeworld and she would rather just do what Homeworld wants instead of being kidnapped or captured, imprisoned, or shattered for betrayal or something like that. Maybe she's just genuinely frightened, or maybe the entire thing was a ruse and she came there entirely to trick the crystal gems into getting the ruby ship back so she could get the rubies throughout space and go back to Homeworld and expose the operation. I definitely think it's like 50-50 right now. I think it could go either way, given Navy's character and also given the fact that she is a Homeworld gem. Who knows? But why does Garnet not see this as a possibility? Maybe she does mention it potentially, because again, there are many avenues that the future can take with Garnet's future vision. So maybe she saw it as a possibility, but it was a minor possibility. It wasn't very likely. I'm not really sure, but you would hopefully that does get mentioned somewhere in the scene that the 2-minute clip kind of features. But that's it. That's all the screenshots, and that's the clip. Looks like a fun episode. I'm excited to see the ruby. I'm excited to see some progression happen. I just really, really hope that they explain the future vision thing, and I hope that they explain why they have not gone out to space yet. It doesn't make sense for them to not go out to space yet. I really want that to get explained. It probably won't get explained this episode, but hopefully soon it does. But next episode is about Lion. So that's like kind of leads me to believe that Navy may, I don't know. And then it's like if Navy goes to space with the ship, then it's like, oh, now we're screwed, because we were dumb and we didn't do anything. So I don't know. We'll see. But what do you guys think of the clip and these screenshots? Are you guys excited for this episode? Do you guys have kind of a problem with them not going out to space like I do, or Garnet not having the future vision to see Navy betraying them? If that is the case, if that is what is happening, let us know in the comments down below. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.